There is nothing quite like a homemade Ghanaian meat pie, golden, flaky on the outside and packed with a rich savory filling inside. Today I'll walk you through how to make this step by step right in your kitchen. And guess what? Even picky eaters like myself could enjoy this without any issues. Let's get right into it. So in a bowl, I'm going to add about 4 cups of pastry flour, or what we call soft flour here. You can as well use all-purpose flour. I'll go ahead and add half teaspoon of salt. Then sift this properly, and sifting your flour makes it more airy, okay? And then you'll be able to get rid of any dirt that might be in your flour or dry ingredients. Next, I'll go ahead and grate in some nutmeg. This is totally optional, but I bet you it takes the flavor to another level. So you may want to try that out. And then I'll go ahead, mix everything properly to ensure that all my dried ingredients are mixed properly. So at this point, I'm going to go in with my cold margarine, and using my fingers, I'll rub the margarine into the flour until it looks like breadcrumbs. Now you can use butter if that's what you have available, but when you come to our Ghanaian community, margarine is the most popular fat we use when it comes to baking, okay? So feel free to use any fat of your choice. And one secret here also is that cold butter or margarine is the secret to a flaky crust, okay? As it melts in the oven, it creates some beautiful layers on your meat pie. So I'll go ahead and create a hole in the middle of my mixture and bring the dough together nicely. At this point, you need to by all means avoid over mixing, as it makes your pastry very tough, and we do not want that, okay? So you just need to pamper your dough at this point, right? I remember the first time I made a pie or meat pie, it became so tough, in fact very hard, that I could hurt someone if it was being thrown at the person, right? That was my secondary school days. So after the dough have been formed, I'll wrap them beautifully in my plastic wrap and then keep it in the fridge to rest for a while whilst we go ahead to prep our filling. Now I form smaller portions of the dough so that we do not need to roll a larger portion and then get the pieces out of it and then roll again. We are just doing this to avoid gluten being formed, okay? We do not want this dough to be stretchy at all. With the filling, I'm going to be using some corned beef, shredded carrot, and finely chopped green bell peppers, okay? You can add any vegetable of your choice. If you love onions, please do add. But if you've been following me for some time now, you'd know that your girl does not love onions, okay? I do not like seeing onions in my food. So I'll just bring this together beautifully and nicely until everything is properly combined, just like this, okay? You can spice it up a bit. You can saute the veggies before adding, but I mean it's going to be baked, so I just prefer it this way. Now with my egg wash, I'm going to use 1 egg and then 2 tablespoons of milk, and I'm going to be leaving the ingredients with their measurements in the description box, so do well to check it out after watching the video. If you've watched me up to this point, thank you so much. And to my returning subscribers, I love you all. Thank you for always supporting this channel from the beginning. I appreciate you all so much. The list is very tall. I can't mention everybody's name, but you do know yourself. And to my new subscribers, my new viewers, you are welcome to Calf's Kitchen, a home where delicious meals are made. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. So you realize that I floured my surface before rolling out the dough. So that was just a piece of the dough, okay? And then I used my a cover to a saucepan. If you have pie cutter, please do use it. And at this point, you see that the dough is not stretchy. If it's stretchy, you see that it's following your what do we call it, the rolling pin as you roll, but this one just stays put. Okay, so this is the type of crust that we want. So I'll just go ahead and roll out everything nicely, and this was what I got out of all the doughs. So now it's time for us to fill them beautifully, and please be generous with your filling, okay? So I'll just fold it and then press the edges with just my finger. You can as well use your fork to design it nicely. That one is also good to go. And in fact, that's the most popular design we know on the streets, okay? I'll then go ahead and brush each pie with a beaten egg and milk, and this is what gives you that deep golden color after baking, okay, the kind that makes people reach out for one immediately. After that, I'll poke some holes in the pie, each of the pie, and this prevents the pies from breaking up in the process of baking. Guys, this is looking gorgeous already. I love it. So we are just going to pop this into a preheated oven and bake at 180 degrees C for 25 to 30 minutes. And after that, voila guys, look at what we got. Amazing pie, so golden, flaky, and it looks so beautiful. I hope you are going to give this a try. So let's break up one and see what we have here, guys. Yeah, so soft, flaky, and it has some rich filling in there. You can use any filling of your choice. Maybe in another video I'm going to be using minced meat for this pie, okay, but today we are just doing with corned beef, just simple filling. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.